In this guide, we're going to talk about lifecycle marketing and how to assess your own business process in a systematic way using lifecycle marketing as the template to look for and identify the opportunities to improve your business. Okay, so the question is, how much can you grow your business? Well, it's a very generic term, that, so we need to look at things specifically. There are 10 different avenues and 10 different impact areas within your business, and then within lifecycle marketing, you've got these 7 different divisions. If we look at things as a whole in lifecycle marketing, what lifecycle marketing is, it's a process through which your customer's life cycles through with you. So before they even become a customer, for example, you need to attract their interest. You then need to make sure that you get their contact details from when they were interested with you, so you can keep in touch with them and explain the relevancy of what you offer and present your offering in a way which is interesting to them. You then need to build a relationship over time. This is called nurturing, and eventually at some point to invite them in for a sales consultation or to present an opportunity to purchase something if it was online. What they can then do is purchase something, and you want to make sure you've got the optimal sales process to deliver the best solution for them in the best way possible. But then you've got to make sure your product stands to what it needs to do. So the quality of the physical product itself must be excellent, or the quality of the service must be excellent, or the actual result delivered by the service must be excellent. And you need to also exceed what you're offering, because these days people are so easily distracted. There's so many different opportunities and products and services available. If they're just barely satisfied with what they get from you, you won't be sufficient to retain them, and then all the money you spent here getting them in the first place has become lost. You also want to then make sure over time, once they've purchased from you, they have the opportunity to purchase again. This is a massively underlooked area because you've already spent the money to attract them. They already know, like, and trust you, and they understand that what you deliver serves their needs, and you need to be able to offer opportunities for them to purchase from you again. And then, of course, getting referrals. You want the customer to multiply themselves. This is behind the secret of rapid growth in internet startups like Dropbox or Airbnb, where they've managed to massively leverage existing interest they get to get those people to tell many more people about it. And you want to multiply your good customers to get multiple referrals and take each of them simultaneously down this pathway. So, if we look at what you can do to improve this whole process, you would look at what you sell. Now, what that means is that what have you actually defined as your product or service? And if you've got a basic product or service, have you a deluxe version of it? Have you got a premium version of it? In Starbucks, you've got different types of coffee. You've got venti, you've got small, you've got luxury ones. You've also got like the specials of the day. For example, in restaurants, often the specials are the most expensive, most profitable aspect. Every morning when I go to get my iced latte, they always ask me if I want the limited edition espresso within there. To be honest, most of the time I decline on that, but in other situations you might be tempted to take that, and that's offering something different, not just the basic coffee. How you promote it, that's in terms of which channels you use to gain attention at the attract interest stage. How you keep in touch with people, that's about how you capturing interest and at the same time keeping in touch with them afterwards. How you convert inquiries by phone or email. It's not always online that we work, and people have a tendency to just focus on online when you have to be able to align and leverage your team, your staff, to deal with walk-ins and phone inquiries in the same way to capture those leads. You need to make sure you deliver a world-class experience when they visit you. So if they visit your website, if they visit your physical store, whatever product it is, whatever service it is, to make sure that they experience the real-world delivery of what they're thinking they're going to get from you exceeds and matches what you promised beforehand. You need to understand exactly what they need. So, for example, if you walk into an Apple store, you're thinking you want to buy a computer, you don't know what computer you want, and you want somebody who could go through in a diagnostic way to understand your precise needs, listen to you, find out what you're trying to do, and then recommend the appropriate product for you. You'd feel much more happy about purchasing then, versus if someone says, well, you just need to buy this, just need to buy this is what's on sale, so you need to buy this, because you feel they don't understand you. The packages you have and what solutions you present and how you present them in a simple and affordable way, this is very important, because if you've got a deluxe package and it's, say, £2,000, and people are thinking, oh, £2,000, I only wanted to spend £1,000 now. I can't really afford it, I'll just go with the £1,000 option. But if you'd said to them, actually, you can pay for the £2,000 option by doing 3 payments of £666 or whatever it is, you've got the option to attract people that you wouldn't have got to purchase, because then that person might think, actually, if I'm paying something like £600 now and I can keep 300 and something pounds for now, then I just need to find the next monthly payment, that they may be more likely to take the higher option, which means that your lifetime customer value, how much they spend with you the first year, is now double of what it was going to be, basically. How you deliver your service and comfort. Again, you want to have a very good onboarding procedure. It's called onboarding when you take a new customer and you make sure that they go through some specific steps so that they get the right experience, and you make sure as a company you deliver the right points, that your quality is determined. And at the same time, you also explain to them how to use your product or service. This is very much underutilized. If you go to Nando's or somewhere, they always explain, have you been here before? Do you know how this works? Or you go to a different restaurant, it's always important to help people know how to use your product or service, and never underestimate that. So making sure you've got a very good onboarding experience is excellent. How you ensure an excellent result in after sales experience. Again, this is making sure that you've got quality control procedures to deliver the actual outcome that you specify your outcome, and you're able to internally audit your process of delivery, and at the same time keeping in touch after the sale to make sure that they've got the right service, the right quality, the right outcome, they're very happy, and that they also have any other opportunities to purchase from you, you go through that with them. And how you keep in touch with them long term, you want to make sure that you keep in touch with them, recommend them about new upgrades, new adjuncts, new customized solutions which they may be interested in, and also opportunities to refer their friends and family. So this whole thing provides lots of different impact points, so we can go through them. So there's 3 drivers to grow a business: increase the number of customers you have, increase the average transaction size, or increase the frequency of purchase. This is a very simplified version of what we just showed before. You want more customers, spending more money, more often. That's it. And to grow predictably in the next year, you need to use the power of compounding on those 3 systems. If you can impact those 3 simultaneously, that has a big impact on your business. So if we're looking about what impacts these things, how can we change those things? Well, you start with positioning, and we're talking about like how you create the actual product or service. What you want to do in marketing is make sure you attract the right people in the first place. So you want to make sure your product or service instinctively attracts the right people who have the right budget for what you're offering and repels the wrong people. So you need to have targeted marketing for your highest value services or products. See, first of all, you have to have high value services and products, and second of all, you have to communicate in a different way. If you look at Lexus as a brand, it's owned by Toyota, but they communicate completely differently to a completely different target audience than Toyota do themselves. So they've got specific targeted marketing for the highest value services and products. You also then need to make sure you've got specific literature and materials for these high value services and products. It's not sufficient for your salesperson to just be able to say, yes, we have deluxe massage available, and then to verbally explain the differences about it. That's not sufficient. You need to have a luxury brochure and luxury presentation and information about ask for our deluxe or ask for our executive. If you look at Virgin, for example, they've got their upper class in the airplane, and they've got like very appealing ways that they've made that these things are being displayed. So you want to get those things, and you want to have packages created. So you've got value-added packages, all about packaging multiple things together, so people will spend more, get more value, and at the same time it's more profitable for you. And you need to have a dedicated market leadership plan so that you can actually then target and go after those number of high-value service or products. So you've got to make sure that your high-value service or product delivers more value than competing high-value service or products. So you want to make sure that you position yourself against competitors and show that you provide more value. And you want to have a full marketing approach to do this, where you have multi-channels, which basically means different promotional channels, which we'll go through in more detail. And you want to attract those people, and you want to make sure you show your authority in how your a luxury product or service is better than other people's. You need to have a compelling value proposition. So, for example, some flights, they all compete for the overnight business flight from London to New York, New York to London. And they'll be targeting a specific kind of business traveller, and they'll make sure they've got all the things that attract that person's needs. So they'll have a package put together, which then will provide value to the company that's paying for it, and also provide value to the executive who's selecting it, so that they will then ask for that particular one by choice. So it's all about having a systematic process to make sure you can sell your highest value services and customers. Attract traffic. So you've now structured strategically what you actually want to do in business. That's very important. Think about what it is first, create the right products and services correctly. Then you need to think about, okay, how can we attract as many people as possible? Because the first thing now is to let people know what you do, how you do it, and where you do it. So you need to have a full tracking and monitoring system so you know what of your marketing is working. There's so much to go into that you need to be able to track effectively where you're spending money and what responses are coming. This is direct response marketing. You need to understand it and go into more detail with it. You also need to use all the different elements like pay-per-click, advertising, AdWords, Bing, all the different search engines, And then you need to be structuring your approach to that. You can't just drag them to your website. You've got to have specific landing pages. And you also need to be regularly conducting marketing tests where you're seeing, are different things working, what's not working. These days you have to take advantage of paid traffic in Facebook promoted posts, and also even Twitter these days have promoted posts and promoted tweets that you can do. And you need to basically push the right message, which has the right call to action, to these targeted landing pages across these different channels. And then the same way you also would increase the conversion rate of those landing pages by using video marketing, so for example YouTube, and using by business blogging like content marketing. So you need to have all of these things working to make sure that you get the right results from your paid traffic. If you've got a shop, you've got to make sure you've got highly visible signage. You want to have like a local engagement system, so you're making sure that with local business in the area or local community that you're engaging and promoting what you do. You need to know how to structure your direct response advertisements. You need to know what a headline is, a call to action is. You need to know what urgency and authority are within the design of it. If you've got Teams members, it's a much underlooked resource, and you want to make sure that you've got staff referral incentives to help them kind of come to refer their own friends and family. And you want to use direct mail postcards over days. So there's so many things that you want to use in the attract traffic section. Once you've actually got that traffic, you want to make sure you capture those leads online. And because one-step selling doesn't work anymore, you might see an advert one time, but then you might think, okay, I want to kind of purchase something, but you're not going to purchase straight away. It might take several months or even a year to purchase. So you've got to have analytics set up to track where did which marketing provide which response, and how long did it take for those people to kind of come into contact. How are you keeping in touch with these people? How you, what kind of email follow-up you have, what kind of letter follow-up, what kind of phone follow-up. And you also want to make sure what messages you have, and your messages need to be structured in the correct way. You also need to have a way that you've got ways to engage and get more information from them. So capturing basic details is one thing, capturing more details is another thing. Nurturing prospects. Okay, you need to understand a marketing funnel. A funnel is where you're getting colder traffic going in at the top, and you've got like more qualified people coming in at the bottom. So there's three parts to your marketing funnel. There's the tofu, mofu, and bofu. Top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. By structuring your content with the right subjects in the right order, you can convert cold traffic into sales qualified prospects. So at the beginning, at the top of your funnel, you need compelling and quick content targeted to your buyer personas to start a relationship focused on trust. See, first of all, as we talked about, you need to know who you're selling to. And you need to have social media posts, blog posts, tip sheets, guest posts, keywords, ebooks, simple guides and infographics and how-tos, all appealing to that target person's problem. So therefore, where that target person is across the world, online, offline, wherever, you want to have things which would catch their eye, basically mimicking the conversation going on in their head. That would then encourage them to capture and put their details in, so they come to the middle of the funnel, and that relationship needs to be enhanced with content that demonstrates you as an authority and a track record on success in your field. You want more detailed content about that specific problem which that specific prospect had, and you want to have calls to action in your landing pages, nurturing emails, advanced ebooks, white papers, case studies, videos, webinars, data sheets, buying guides, free trials, more stuff in more detail to bring them along and help them understand more about what you're offering. At the bottom of your funnel, you want to have leads that have reached this part, so that now they are sales qualified. You want to make them sales qualified, which basically means interaction needs to be more personalized, like phone calls and personal emails to assess what they need, invitation in for a consultation or assessment, all of these things to do a proper needs assessment to find out what they need. And then of course you'll deliver wow. You need to make sure that you've structured in the correct way your onboarding sequence and everything as we talked about before. When you're capturing leads by phone, you need to have a system for your team so they know how to capture the phone numbers, the contact details of people. You also need to have phone tracking set up, either dynamic number serving on different websites or specific numbers tied to fixed marketing pieces. And you need to be able to kind of audit and track how well your team convert these things. If you don't have a system for this, you could spend and have fantastic marketing and advertising going on, and you lose all the conversion because it just doesn't happen. You need to make sure when you're converting sales, you've invested in bringing them along, learning more about your brand, and coming in to see you. So you need a comprehensive needs assessment and diagnostic sales approach. So you need to make sure that they are understanding exactly, your team is understanding exactly what the customer wants. You've got a system to document and record all the needs of the customers. You have a system for engaging and questioning the customer to understand their interests and needs. And you need to systematically go through that with them so you can uncover exactly what they require in the most detailed way possible, because only then and only then would you be able to present an option for them. So you need to have clear service product options for them to select from, so you could point to something which has clear descriptions of services, guarantees, inclusions, and you also want to have multiple solutions for customers to help them find the right solution for their budget. So you have multiple price points, and multiple affording packages, and you want to have simple payment options so they can spread things out. You look at all the furniture places, they all offer interest-free finance, and it's become normal to do these sorts of things. You want to have simple finance systems that immediately show customers what they can afford. It's all about monthly payment plans and disposable income, and you want to present same-day service or speed options, because they like the now, they like the fast, and if you offer something which can be done today, they will potentially pay a premium for that. You also have clear written guarantees that give customer confidence and give your team confidence, so they know that you know what you're promising and standing by. And you want to make sure that you also have a system to notify and make a note of any potential items the customer might be interested in the future, so you've got ability to communicate with them about those products or services further on in their life, which again would lead to an upsell. Once you've attracted the customer and they've bought from you, you need to keep them. So you need to have an intentional customer welcome system, a system to make them feel welcome on board, and you've got to make sure you've got different customer journeys which follow up with them. And essentially, it's about having a clear and intentional experience. You can't repeat that enough. It's all about having step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and making sure that you've got everything in your business processes and your staff trained aligned to deliver that, basically. You need to make sure you've got experience points built in, so even certain times it's not just enough to deliver what you said you'd deliver, you also need to add a value-added step, like an extra little thing. Like, for example, if you did car hire, or if, for example, if you offered car repair, so they came in to get their car repaired with you, and you also washed the car and hoovered the inside of it as a standard, but they did not expect that, they're going to feel, wow, that was so much better. I mean, okay, they charged me a little bit more for the gearbox, but I get my car back like brand new, so I'll come back in there again. And then if, for example, within the glove compartment, there was also like a voucher for the next visit, or on the dashboard, something like that, it all makes a big difference. And it's all about having these little experience points to make you feel you got more value than you did. And you want to have standardized procedures so that your team can do that in a systematic way, and having like a service results review system so that you can make sure that you've followed up with your team and the customer to make sure you actually delivered what you said you would deliver. All of these factors are very, very important, because you want to make sure that you can proactively deliver a high quality service and have a system to proactively seek out dissatisfied customers so this doesn't happen and they don't tell anybody wrongly. Upsell. So you want to make sure you've got a system. So once they've already had the great solution, you want to have a system and specific time promotions to people that expressed interest in different products. So for example, if it was Christmas and it was appropriate to contact them about a Christmas offer, you want to make sure that you contact the people that are appropriate for the Christmas offer. You want to have a system to get customer testimonials. These days, having online reviews is all about having leverageable goodwill online, because people trust reviews. You look at TripAdvisor. Every time you book a holiday, you're going to check on TripAdvisor to see what are the reviews like in that system. So you want to make sure systematically, in addition to delivering good results and a really wow experience, you can't just expect people to write reviews online. You've got to give them a system to do so. Otherwise, things don't happen by accident. You then also need to have a lifecycle communication system in place for every single customer so that you are able to make sure that you don't lose track with them, and then you can follow up with them. Because as a business, all you want to do is attract and retain customers profitably. And if you're attracting them but not keeping in touch with them, you're losing money straight away. So you need to have a system to make sure that also give them the opportunity to purchase different items in the future, and a system to remind people of their needs. So if they said, okay, I'm interested in getting my pool serviced again next year, you could offer them a pool servicing plan where literally it would just be once a year or every month on their card membership scheme. They wouldn't have to worry about it, and everything gets done. So once you've done all that, you want to make sure you actually then get referrals from that customer. So you want to have unexpected journey steps to give more value than we asked for. You also want to have introduce a friend systems and simple free offers for the friend to get involved. Also incentive schemes where if a friend is referred, the person referring and the new customer both get a gift or incentive. You also want to track referrals and send a thank you note in addition to the incentive. You also provide frequent training to your staff. Never underestimate the power and importance of just when somebody's happy about something or spontaneously gives a compliment or about the service, to actually say, well, that's fantastic and it's been a real pleasure serving you. One thing is we go through referrals, so if you know someone just like you has the same problem, we'd love to meet with them and hear from them and just give them the card. So all of these things are very, very important. And never underestimate the power of incentives. If you incentivize your team with gifts or prizes based on the number of customer referrals in the last month, believe you me, it will increase. All of this, as you can see, is a very systematic and step-by-step logical approach to lifecycle marketing. Here at lifecyclemarketing.co, we are dedicated to giving you the very best strategies and solutions to help implement lifecycle marketing in your business. If you'd like to implement it in your business, get in touch with us at lifecyclemarketing.co. Thank you.